Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing today? If you can please just say hello inside of the group chat to make sure that the audio is working okay, that would be greatly appreciated. Let's take a look here. All right, hello, yes. Welcome, everybody, welcome. Guys, we want this group chat area to be active. So my colleagues and my teammates are gonna be following through here, and we'll try to give you as much feedback and answers as we go through, in addition to opening up and having live Q&A. That's essential here. So please get involved and let us know what you teach and let us know what you're hoping to achieve. And feel free to send as many questions as possible. In the case that we don't answer any of your questions during this session, because I know that we want to respect everybody's time. In case we don't get to everybody's questions, we will follow up. So feel free to drop us your email as well. We have it with the registrant, but we'll follow up with email. I'm also going to be sending you the recorded version of this, in addition to this PDF, as well as the demo link that we're going to be. Welcome, Dr. Raj Wesley from Brookdale. We're going to be sending you as well the recorded and the live demo link, as well as a tutorial, so you can explore everything in detail that we're going to be going through today. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And let me introduce myself. My name is Christian Ollier. I'm the co-founder and program director of Study Abroad Association. This is our passion. We love international education and everything about it. This year for everybody was extremely challenging, as we all know, and we had to find a way to adapt. And with challenge came innovation and opportunity to produce something that essentially all students and faculty could utilize and access to provide internationalized curriculum and study abroad experiences, virtual as well, to a much larger student population and faculty. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive in here to the demo and show you what we've been working on, what we've created, and explain how this can work well with essentially in all areas of study in all destinations around the globe. My team, Study Abroad Association team, can you make sure that we unmute people when they have questions, please? Because I want to focus on the demo. So if you can focus on that, if people have questions, to bring them in, that would be greatly appreciated. With that being said, guys, let me share the demo, and let's go ahead and dive in. And remember, guys, this is being recorded, so please be on your best behavior, and don't worry about taking too many notes. Enjoy the tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started here. Right now, you should be virtually in Italy. Okay, so as I mentioned, with the challenge of this year of having to cancel so many programs, with study abroad traditional not being accessible because of travel limitations and everything we've all gone through, we had the responsibility and the challenge of needing to develop something that was as close to a real life study abroad experience as possible, right? Now, obviously, we had to realize that certain things, taste, smell, touch, these aspects, we haven't found the complete solution to yet. But interactivity and education and experience and video and audio and these kind of things and control, we found the solution for. So what we use is professional 360 photography and 360 videography. And we produce all of this content. We produce this with our local teams around the globe. And what we do is we infuse it with educational content, okay? So these blue circles here, these are educational plugins, okay? So basically, we're able to layer these 360 learning spaces with as much educational content as you want. So in addition to all of the pre-made materials that we're providing, and I'm going to explain in detail in a little while what all we're going to be covering with the subscription package. But in addition to that, we are making this tool accessible to faculty to use, where they can go in and they can customize all this with simple as drag and drop, click and play, and they can go in and they can make this learning space their own. So let me show you kind of a few of the interesting features. You come down here to the control panel, you click on this. Right here on your left-hand side, you have Google Maps, okay? Your Google Maps will pop up, and this will show you where you are in Italy, in Rome, but also you can zoom out and you can keep going and you can see where you are in the country, you can see where you are in the continent of Europe, but you can also see where you are, on Earth. So this is great for students to build that association and know where they are, where this is taking place, and to really dive into the locations that they're visiting into detail. You can also go into Google Street View with this, and you can navigate that way as well. In addition to the mouse we have here, this is called Little Planet. Okay, you click on Little Planet, it instantly gives you an aerial view. Now, it's a nice visual feature, but the most important thing of this is it allows you to see in one click all of the educational plugins within that one scene, within that one section, okay? So this is important to make sure that the students are able to go through every educational plugin that we've layered and that you've layered there for them, okay? So we'll come out of here, Little Planet, and I wanna show you virtual reality mode. So you click on virtual reality mode here, and by using the web virtual reality app, you're able to use essentially any type of VR goggles, even the most affordable $15 Google Cardboard, and you can use your phone as the processor. Essentially, you have your phone with the Google Cardboard, and you're gonna have a complete immersive experience by using the web VR app. So it's great. It's not necessary because we're obviously not using it right now, but it is an enhancement if you would like to include that. And then down here, you can plug in as many professional photographs as you prefer, or that we provide. So you can really build this out as much as you like, okay? So let me show other features of the interactivity. These blue boxes that we were talking about earlier, the educational plugins, text boxes, okay? We can use open educational resources. We can use content that professors have produced themselves, or that they've published, to plug in here. And you can plug in as many text boxes as you like. Quizzes and assessments. So we use Google Forms, and basically this can all be customized around what you would like to quiz the students on, okay? So when I send you this link later, I want you to go through and I want to see how many of these things you can answer properly at the end of the demo when you go through it on your own. But you can do multiple choice, you can do true or false, you can do fill in the blank, and you can also prompt students to write essays or paragraph responses, okay? So with one click, you can download all of these results and you can see how your students, how they've done, how much information they retained. And this is 100% customized. You can go in and make this your own, okay? That's the beauty of this. This plugs into all Blackboard, Canvas, whatever Moodle, whatever learning management system you have, this is accessible through that platform. So just to give you an idea, again, of what we can do inside of this space. Now, before we go on, I want to show you what we have up here up top, okay? This is essentially your table of contents, okay? This is layered right here in geographical order. So these are all of the scenes within this one demo that I'm sharing with you now. We're not going to go through all these scenes because this one demo contains 1 hour of virtual content from a professional local professor, Dr. Francesco Restuccia, who we're going to meet in a second. It contains 1 hour of historical information provided by him. In addition to that 1 hour of educational content provided by Francesco, which would closely associate with the humanities section, history, humanities, we have an additional 35 minutes of cultural stops along the way. In addition to that, we have another 35 minutes of interactive text boxes and quizzes and things like that. So it's a very robust demo experience. And this is only 1 hour of the entire 48-hour package of the virtually interactive, globally enhanced learning materials. And those 48 hours are split into 4 sections. They're split into humanities, sciences, global perspectives, and business. Each of those 4 areas of study contain 12 virtually interactive contact hours provided by local professional guides or educators, professors from that country. So that's a brief, very tutorial before we dive in. Now I would like to introduce you to Dr. Francesco Restuccia and show you what this experience consists of. So let's go ahead and dive in here.
Hi, welcome to Rome. We are in the medieval city center. This little courtyard is called Arco degli Acetari. The acetari were people collecting and selling acqua acetosa, a natural, mineral, healthy water that they were collecting in a spring out of the city and selling it here in the city center in the market of Campo di Fiori nearby. Now have a glass of fresh water and follow me, discovering Rome.
So as Francesco exits out of this alleyway, we are able to follow him through this portal right here, okay? Now remember, as I mentioned earlier, this up here is your table of contents, okay? You do not have to go in order. So if you're a teacher of whatever area of study you are, and you wanna come in and you wanna grab different sections, different chapters, different scenes, or essentially different pages of these digital learning materials, you could come in and say, you know, I really want to incorporate the Portico de Ottavia, right? And you could come in here and you could essentially just copy and paste this URL right here, Command C, put it into your Blackboard, send it to all your students, say, students, I would love for you to go through this scene, review all the materials, and give us your feedback, okay? So you do not have to go in the geographical order like we did right here, where we follow Francesco to Campo dei Fiori, but you can go through and you can navigate this as you wish. This is self-paced. That's the beauty of this, especially with online studies and students who are, you know, possibly non-traditional students who work the night shift or have irregular hours and they need self-paced content. This is perfect to accommodate to them. In addition to that, this is very interactive for all types of learning styles. So if you're kinesthetic, auditory, visual, you can really excel through this learning platform, okay? You're able to have a deeper connection with these locations. We could say, for example, we have current events right here. We still have the people in Italy wearing the COVID mask, right? Because as soon as they went into phase 2, essentially, to where people were not at forced quarantine at home, that's when we wanted to produce this this demo for you. So this demo is around a month old, and this is just to give you a taste of what's possible inside of these 360 learning spaces. So, as any proper educational tour experience, whenever we enter a new location, it's essential that we have a bit of a historical and cultural overview of this location. And you might be wondering, Christian, is this accessible to the hearing impaired? Absolutely.
We are in Campo di Fiori, the only square in the city center of Rome without a church. This square is very famous for this lively market that happens every morning from Monday to Saturday since the old times. You're probably wondering, who's that hooded guy on my back? Well, we have to go back to the 1500s during.
Right, so basically we're able to add in closed captioning with all of this and to run it through applications to make sure that, one, it's using the proper vocabulary, the proper words, and that we don't have any errors. And secondly, what's available here is if we have any instructors with us today who teach foreign language, we now have the possibility of allowing the local guides to speak in their native tongue and to have the closed captioning either in English subtitles or written in Italian based on the level of the students. So essentially, the sky is the limit here, Okay. Now I wanted to show you as we come into Campo dei Fiori, I wanted to give you an example of, these cultural stops along the way, right? So in addition to the core historical aspect, we need to know the
Here at the
culture.
market of Campo dei Fiori, you can find pretty much everything from local products to exported spices from all over the world. You have cinnamon from India, sweet potatoes from the US, but also the typical sun-dried mushrooms from Tuscany. They are perfect with risotto.
And let me give you an example of what that language experience could be like.
Perfetto. Va bene così, grazie. A me piacciono tantissimo così. Perfetto, grazie.
Right, so we have local language immersion experience, essentially negotiating, bartering with the local fruit vendors, right? So educators can come in at this point and they can say, I really want to incorporate the famous quotes from Giordano Bruno, right? So they're able to add in text boxes here. What we like to work in a lot of is, in addition to all of the 4K videos, the presentations, is a lot of 360 video. Now, guys, if anything is lagging on your side, audio or visual, that's because we're sharing our screen. This all works flawlessly, and it will work perfectly on your back end with your institution software, or we can host it in the cloud and you can access it that way. So if anything is lagging, don't have that, don't allow that to worry you. This is just because we're sharing the screen right now through Zoom. Let me give you an example of the 360 video here in Campo dei Fiori. I'll turn on the audio a little bit. Right, so essentially with the 360 video, I have complete control of my surroundings, right? So life in Italy continues to go around me, the noises go around me, I'm able to look down, I'm able to look up, I'm able to say, where is my guide Francesco? And now I've spotted him drinking an espresso and eating a panino. He's on the clock and he's taking a break, but you're able to really immerse yourself into any environment. So you could do this inside of businesses. If you have culinary classes, you can do this inside of professional kitchens. You could do this with host families. Any location in the world, you're able to use this 360 video to provide a fully immersive experience for your students. And why are we here? We're here because of accessibility. Students who are not able to have traditional study abroad experiences for whatever reason, be it physical limitations, financial, lack of time, or lack of interest, we're able to use this platform and this learning material as essentially a springboard or a gateway to traditional study abroad. This is a great way to promote these programs, your traditional study abroad programs, and have something go hand in hand. Again, this is not a replacement. This is an enhancement. This is something that's going to go very well with the traditional experience that can be used pre-trip and post-trip. As we know, often students that go on traditional study abroad experiences, there's so much going on within that experience that many times they're not able to retain a lot of the educational content that's being delivered to them because it's all so new. They've never been out of the country before, or they've never been to a country with so much going on, or a city with so much going on, like in Rome, where they're not able to retain as much of the historical educational content that you would like them to. But by having it accessible in this format where they have unlimited access and they can go back time and time and time again, self-paced, you can ensure that they're going to essentially absorb all of that content. So let me show you another little cultural stop here along the way. We come into a traditional artisanal pasta shop here, just to give you an idea of everything that you can do. Anything's possible. That's the beauty.
Here we are at Altro, a traditional pasta maker. Hello? E allora cosa facciamo? Cosa abbiamo qua?
Questa è un laboratorio di pasta d'uovo. Noi produciamo pasta d'uovo e in questo specifico, oltre a venderla di tutto, la cuociamo anche.
Here they produce egg pasta, fresh pasta with egg, and they also serve it directly here. So you can either buy it and bring it home, or have a pasta with some different sauces for a lunch break.
Okay, so I want to say I'm sorry to all of our friends in the States right now who are on their lunch break, and if this is making you very hungry, I apologize. But I wanted to share that with you, and I do hope that if you have lunch after this, it will be some delicious, authentic Italian food, okay? Let me show you a couple of other interesting educational pieces that you could plug in, okay? For example, as an educator, what you can do, because you have full customization capabilities here, right? So welcome to, this is Vittoriano, but welcome to Piazza Venezia, all right? Now, first of all, while we're here, let's take a look at how rich this scene is, right? So remember that little planet, you just click on that. From above, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 educational videos, and we have 2 text boxes available within this one scene. Okay, so it's very rich educationally. What I want to show you here is what you can do, the power of bringing in all of our resources. So if your institution's going to online educational resources and you're looking for that extra supplemental content to really keep the students engaged and make it interactive, this is a perfect example of something that you could do. Let me show you here. So let's listen to Francesco tell us a little bit about Piazza Venezia.
If you have ever seen a picture or a video of Mussolini speaking to the crowd, it was from that balcony. Palazzo Venezia, this beautiful Renaissance palace, was the seat of the government during the fascist regime in the 30s and 40s.
All right, so basically, small little introduction. Mussolini, fascist regime, 30s and 40s, World War II, Italy, this is their headquarters, right? But now look what we can do by allowing professors with as simple as a copy and paste or a drag and drop to bring in an educational component to really enhance the learning experience for the students. "80 years ago, last week, this took place." Mussolini announces to hundreds of thousands of people in Italy, but also the entire world, that they're joining the Nazis and that they're going to war. So we're able to provide students a connection to help bring the educational experience closer and home. And that's the beauty of this, is that we can take this learning space and essentially we have infinite possibilities. Everything is possible in any area of study. It doesn't have to be just humanities and history and on and on. We can do this in any area of study, and we can do this essentially in any area of the world that's not in, obviously active warfare or something. So this is the possibilities are endless. The sky is the limit. With enough creativity, it's a beautiful thing. So we often have people say, "Hey, I want to see the Colosseum. It's the Rome demo. Let me see the Colosseum." So we'll give you just a little intro here to the Colosseum, and then I want to open it up and hear your guys' ideas, please.
The Colosseum is the most iconic monument of Rome, and it was the largest amphitheater in the ancient world. Colosseum is just a nickname. Its real name was Amphitheater Flavius, because it was commissioned by the Emperor Vespasianus Flavius and inaugurated in year 80 AD.
Right, so you might be wondering, wow, I've never seen Rome so empty. Again, this was recorded just a few weeks ago after the, when they went into phase 2, right? So I'd like to show you just one last thing here, part of the demo. Again, guys, there's around 30 scenes in here. There's 1 hour of educational delivered professional content. Francesco has his PhD in philosophy, history, and art. This is the goal in all of the 12 countries that we're featuring in the year 1 subscription, is to work with the best guides, the best educators, to bring in globally enhanced material and resources for you to plug into your class as supplemental materials. Since we started with Francesco, I'd like to give him a chance to kind of end this part of the demo, and so let's see what he has to say here.
We at Study Abroad Association believe that an international education should be accessible to everybody. Our aspiration is that through experiences like this one, we can inspire more students and faculty to study and travel abroad. Our mission is to connect and better the world through educational international programs. Thank you for being part of our mission and being part of the initiative to make these experiences available and accessible to all.
Wow. So that is the and by the way, that's the quickest demo I've ever done going through the actual live demo. I would love to open this up for questions, but I also want to share with you about the subscription model and show you a little bit more detail, what all is included, how it works, and to give you the overview of that, and to use the last part of this to cover on the essentially how it works, how much it costs, what all you get, all the essentials, right? And I would like to focus on that, but also leave time for plenty of questions. So if my SAA team can help me out with unlocking anybody's audio that has questions, or if you have questions that you would like to write inside of the panelist chat, and then I can read those and answer those directly. But by the way, I just want to show you, we have a day mode, night mode. It's very beautiful. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for the questions to come in, I will run you through the subscription shared model, how this works, and explain everything in a little bit more detail. So essentially, we have 48 hours of interactive virtual content. This is self-paced, completely interactive, and this is on an annual subscription. Let me answer the first question that just came in from Daniel Jones. How often do you plan to update old content and add new content? Great job, Daniel. So this is going to be updated annually, okay? We're starting with 48 hours of this content for year one, featuring 12 countries in 4 areas of study. Our 3-year goal mission is to have content in all areas of study. We want to diversify as much as possible, and we want to go deep. So basically, we want to go to all corners of the globe. We want to go to all areas of study, and we want to produce in-depth, amazing educational resources that everybody can access easily and help globalize and internationalize their class. That's what we're doing here. So there will be regular releases throughout the year as well. And all this content will be live January 1st, accessible through your learning management system on the back end. Throughout the fall, we're going to be hosting workshops and webinars to work with your faculty to make sure that they know how to use all this. Now, I have the pleasure, my mother was born in 1948. She's 72 years old, and I have the pleasure of working with my mother. She was the first volunteer to make sure that she can learn how to customize and use it as a resource. So she was an educator herself for 40 years, and she was the first one to say, I want to learn how to do this. So if my mother can learn how to do this, I believe all faculty can learn how to do this, and that is our goal here. Make it accessible to all students, but also accessible to all faculty. So ensuring that not only we have globally competent students, but also globally competent faculty, and make this tool immersive and accessible to all. Okay, I'm just going to read a couple more questions here that just came in. Let's see here. Can professors assign their students to create additional content? That's a great idea. I would love to, Wendy, Gilbert, Simon, I would love to explore that idea with you. I haven't personally, that thought had never crossed my mind, but I think it's a brilliant concept, and I think it could add a lot of value, especially if the students were producing content while they're abroad or planning trips or everything like that. I would love to brainstorm on that with you and see what you're envisioning in more detail. Does the annual subscription begin on August 1st, 2020 or January 2021? So the annual subscription begins on January 1st, 2021, and it's good until December 31st, 2021, okay? Now, as long as you maintain an active subscription, you'll have access to all of that content that was from year one. And then year two, there will be There will be all of the new releases, okay? In addition to that, we're gonna have early releases coming out in the fall because I know many institutions and educators, they need content now. So we are actually starting production. We've reached our minimum. We have 34 institutions signed up right now for the subscription model. This is growing daily, so we want you to be part of year one. We are starting production next week. So on June 28th, we'll be starting production and we will have some early releases coming out. But everything will be live, accessible to all student body by January 1st, okay? Will Prague be a region you will consider covering? Absolutely, yeah, I love Prague, Czech Republic. It's right next door. I actually live in Bratislava, Slovakia right now. My family's based there. So yes, Prague is amazing for architecture, for history. Prague will most definitely be a destination that we cover. Again, year one, we had limited time and we wanted to provide proof of concept. We wanted educators to fall in love with these materials, and we wanted to start with 4 areas of study that could reach the majority of the campus. So again, that's business, humanities, sciences, and global perspectives, okay? And we wanted to feature 12 countries to start with. Now, what we're doing right here, if you look at my screen, between January and June, this is where we are listening as much as possible like a sponge to receive your feedback. What content do you want to be produced? What angles would you like to incorporate? What destinations around the globe? We are wanting to receive as much of this as possible so that way we can make a richer product, okay? In addition to that, for year one, we would love to have additional meetings with your faculty, with your division chairs, with your deans, whoever, right, who's passionate about this and understands the potential with this and the possibilities that we can essentially reach all students with campus with one click. One click, we can provide all this content to the entire campus. That's incredible. We want to work with the people at your institution who are passionate and excited about this to listen to them. And as long as their ideas come within the scope of the first year's projects, we would love to hear those and incorporate those ideas into the materials. As many unique angles as we can incorporate allows us to have more resources and more content for your professors to use and for your students to experience, okay? I'm gonna read a couple more questions. Will there be opportunities to collaborate with other participating institutions? Absolutely. So we have statewide consortiums that are working together. We have sister, colleges that are next door to each other, or community colleges that feed into universities. Many institutions are collaborating. So short answer is yes. Is there a limit to the number of participants per license at an institution? Great question. No, there's not a limit. This has unlimited access, unlimited users, okay? So you can share this with all of your student body. You can share this with your alumni students. You can share this with concurrent dual credit students at local high schools who are taking courses at your institution. You can share this with your entire staff. From everybody from the custodian to the president of the university or the college can use this content, okay? So unlimited access, unlimited users. The first time when we were doing demos with our previous student travelers and we were doing demos and having them go through this, we wanted to see how long would it take them to go through this demo. And we were saying, okay, are they going to just rush through and go scene by scene by scene? But no, they explored, they zoomed in, they zoomed out, they completely absorbed the environment, and they would continue to go back to other scenes to get more information. So this is not a one-time thing. Students are able to use this as many times as they need to make sure that they've absorbed as much information as possible, okay? So to answer that question, unlimited access, unlimited users, full access. Let's see here. How do you address internet limitations in countries like China where things like Google Earth may not be accessible? So great question. In China where Google Earth is not accessible, we're producing all of our own content, okay? So we use our own 360 equipment to make the 360 photographs as well as the 360 video. So everything that you saw in this demo and everything that's going to be included in year one, but for all the years forever and more, we are producing our own content. So we're not reliant on Google Earth. This is produced by our team. our global team around the globe. So we're not within those limitations. I'll give you an example. For example, Iran. Okay, it's a perfect example of why virtual study abroad is a beautiful thing, or these global learning materials are a beautiful thing. U.S. citizens are not permitted to travel to Iran. However, we have a global team made up of citizens from around the world, which means that our team can go to destinations that aren't easily accessible by U.S. citizens, and we can produce in-depth content focused on architecture, history, religious studies, whatever the focus is, and bring those destinations to the classes that might not be accessible without these means, right? Are there any plans to incorporate intercultural competence content? Absolutely, 100%. This is a great question. Yes, this is part of the Global Perspectives unit. I've answered a lot of questions here. Let me just focus on two things on here, and then I'll go into more detail on the Global Perspectives. So full access licensing for 4 areas of study, okay? That's annual subscription of $4,995, okay? If your institution is in any type of, which many are, budget constraints right now, if there's any freezes or whatever, you have difficulty finding funding, please schedule a meeting with me. I will brainstorm with you on how to make sure that we can find funding within your institution to support this. We can go to the library, your institution's library. We can go to the Alumni Association. We can go department by department by department. I will give as many demos as you guys need to ensure that the people who make the decisions believe in this and that we can unlock this for your faculty, for your students, for everybody involved. So if you do run into a wall, don't give up, because I will help you find a solution. And there are so many solutions. We just need to, we have solutions, not problems. So let's focus on that. If 4,995 is too much, then you can start with 1 unit. Maybe you want to get a sampler. Maybe you want to have a taste. You can start with 1 unit of your choice for $19.95. Okay, so you don't have to be all in. You can start with 1. Now I want to run you through the content very quickly. We wanted to start with the essentials. What are the most popular courses that have the highest enrollment institutions? Typically will fall within your gen ed courses, right? Your humanities. Let's start there, and then let's branch out, right? So humanities, the first units we're focusing on is ancient Greece, ancient Rome, the Renaissance, the Tudor period in the UK, okay? In-depth content, all shot in these locations. Business, we're going to London, we're going to Athens, we're going to India, to Bangalore, to Mumbai, but we're also incorporating business from the 12 countries that we're visiting. We're incorporating business discussions from all those countries as well. The French Embassy, the New York Consulate, they are going to be sponsoring a unit on France. So France will be present in each single area of study. So they'll be present in sciences, they'll be present in business, humanities, and global perspectives, okay? So all of these areas of study are going to be interactive, extremely informative. Local professionals, bankers, business owners, entrepreneurs, policymakers, right? So it's interactive, but we also have the educational component delivered directly from people who work in the field, internationally, in the field, day in and day out, to bring in different perspectives and to bring in unique ideas. So we're focusing on current events as well. We're focusing on Brexit. We're focusing on financial impact of COVID-19 and a lot of your essential stuff, basically, how do you introduce a new product into a foreign country, right? So all the essentials. And again, I would be more than happy, my team would be more than happy to meet with your department chairs, excited faculty, et cetera, to listen to their ideas and to start to layer this and to make it even more in-depth. So I mentioned earlier that there's 48 contact hours, but we've had so many of these planning meetings with the first institutions, our founding members, right? Remember, the first 50 institutions are the founding members. We've had so many of these educational meetings that we're receiving more and more unique angles that are easy to implement because we're already there producing the content, that we want to hear your feedback and we want to plug this in and we want to make this as rich as possible, okay? Sciences. This is very unique. Typically with science and study abroad, there are only a few areas that are typically represented in international education. That normally is your environmental science and your biology courses, okay? Many other areas of science, chemistry, physics, etc., these are not represented when it comes to international education. So what we're doing now is we're working with faculty in these areas who have an abundance of international experience to make sure that we can build global content in those areas as well that can provide that content to the students in those areas. So chemistry, for example, I'll give you one example in chemistry. We're focusing on the reef in Belize, the Mesoamerican reef, and we're looking at the bleaching that's going on the reef, and we're looking at the chemistry, what's going on exactly with this bleaching, okay? For physics, we go to hydroelectricity plants in Costa Rica, and we're looking at the physics, how, by using water, going through this plant, are we producing electricity, right? In addition to providing all of this global educational content, we are also providing citizen science. So what we're doing is we're teaching the students who are observing this how to incorporate a lot of these experiments in their own community, how they can go do pH testing in local rivers and streams to see if there's pollution, contamination, etc. right? So that's a huge part of not only educating about abroad, but also showing what can we do at home, right? Especially if we're not permitted to go out of the country. How can we take what we're learning through these experiences and incorporate it at home, right? Global perspectives, extremely exciting unit. We're focusing on history, religion, gender equality, local politics, racism or classism, healthcare, education, cuisine, culture, music, and current events, okay? This is going to be real-world conversations with everybody from politicians to homeless people to environmental activists to human rights activists to everybody into educators, people that work for the NHS, the National Health Services in the UK, on and on, to give students real-world perspective, 2020, 2021, real-world perspective of global perspectives in all areas of study, from all walks of life, and from many different fields. And when I say fields, I mean from workforce fields. This is a great tool that we can use to allow students to have insight of what a career could look like in that particular field, especially students that are, trying to make up their mind, what do I want to do in life? I have no idea. I'm knocking out my gen eds. Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? We're able to provide them that real world input from people who work day in and day out in these fields and with these jobs, and allow them an opportunity to become inspired. Maybe they're not sure what they want to do, but then they see the science unit and they say, oh my gosh, I really want to go into wildlife conservation because that is incredible. Or, wow, I really want to start studying history and I want to become a tour guide because I love all of the content that Francesco is providing. And I didn't know that that was a job possibility, that I could be paid to learn and to teach other people about these amazing places. The sky is the limit, okay? Anyway, I've been talking way too much. I want to hear everybody's questions. So please, please provide more questions on things that I haven't covered. I'm all ears. Is anybody there? All right, here we go. What do you mean by conversations with these people? Videos and speaking, or actually interaction, video conferences, etc.? Great question. Okay, so all of this is pre-made content, okay? So there's questions, there's answers, there's back and forth to provide as in-depth of a conversation as possible. I'm happy you asked that question because with your subscription, okay, we are having monthly networking, international education networking events where we bring all people that are interested to a virtual space where you are able to connect with foreign institutions, universities, colleges from around the globe, and we're able to set up partnerships for virtual exchange for student-to-student experiences, as well as faculty-to-faculty experiences. So again, that's going to happen, that's international, that's going to happen once a month, okay, starting in September. And this is essentially speed dating for international education, to come together, team up with foreign institutions, bring in the student-to-student experience with a class that's in Belgium and a class that's in Florida, connect, and learn together through group projects, okay? I'm going to continue scrolling here. Are there plans in the future to add? Yes, social sciences, psychology, criminal justice, absolutely. Thank you, Taryn. We are working on this right now. I would love your input because, like I said earlier, we are already going to produce content in these destinations. So if you have ideas, things that would add value, please share it with us, and we will do our absolute best to infuse that into year one. Okay, so I didn't have a chance to mention this yet, but in addition to the subscription model that we're offering here, we're doing a lot of customization work. So for institutions that are wanting customized learning materials, supplemental learning materials to go along with their course and things like this, that's 100% possible. We're already doing this. We're working, for example, with the University of South Florida. We start production on their program next week. They're doing environmental science in Italy, focusing on climate change and human impact on the environment. It's going to be a great unit. So anything that you're envisioning that you would like customized, that you'd like to use, let us know, and we would be happy to brainstorm with you, to collaborate, and to bring it to life, okay? So yes, social sciences, psychology, criminal justice will definitely be represented. Shane Wallace, so subscription includes all the content? Yes, it includes all 48 hours in those 4 areas of study. Unlimited access, unlimited users, and like I said, there's going to be a lot more content than that. So, and we will have early releases in the fall as well. Could you provide some examples of how instructors have practically incorporated content in their courses? Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel. So let me share my screen here. New share. And let's go, here we go, share. Okay, we're back in Italy, right? So essentially, Dan, it's a great question. How do we use these materials in our courses? So essentially, all of these have unique URLs, okay? So this is all available on the back end, in your Blackboard, your Canvas, whatever learning management system you have. You'll go through all the content and the resources. It's essentially a resource library, and you choose what you want to incorporate into your course. Now we have a few options. I'll give you examples to start with, but essentially you could come here, Command C, you copy and paste this link, and then I share it like I'm doing now in this group chat. I share it right here, and then you've made this accessible to all the students in your course. Along with that, you say, students, I want you to review these videos. I want you to review this content. I want you to compare and to contrast. I want you to answer the customized quizzes that I've incorporated into it. And I want your feedback on that. Now that's one example of what you could do with one scene, but you have a huge library of resources now that you can pull from, that you can pick and choose. That's one way of doing it. Another way that professors are doing it is they're saying, okay, this unit offers 12 hours of virtual content, okay? My course is 48 contact hours, which means, so 3 credit hours is 48 contact hours traditionally, right, for most institutions. So that means essentially that 25% of my course could be offered through this learning resource. So I could use this either as homework assignments, as self-paced outside of class, or if my institution is not allowing back on campus classes, then they could do this at home, self-paced, and there's assignments to go along with it. But essentially, this is your resource library. It's as simple as copy and paste, Command C, Command V, share it with them, and get creative with it and make it your own. Drag and drop, simple. Make this your own experience. Plug in links that you have. If you don't have time to do it, don't worry, because we are going to make this super layered and in-depth for you. But if you do have the time, if you do love the idea of wanting to make this your own unique experience, you can go through and you can do anything. It's endless. Let me go down a little bit. Thank you, Daniel, for that question, and I hope I answered it. Okay, Michelle, my college is part of a district of colleges with 10 autonomous colleges and several satellites. Will we purchase separate subscriptions or one via our district? Great question, Michelle. We do have statewide community college system programs or consortium or associations. We can work with all of your institutions to provide you a group discount subscription as being part of an association. Absolutely. So you can purchase just one subscription that will satisfy all of your members. We can go into more detail about that with a phone call or video call at your soonest convenience. So just definitely drop us a message, and we'll follow up with you as well here. Dominica, are there learning outcomes objectives for each module? Yes. So basically, we incorporate a lot of quizzes and assessments throughout this. However, we want to allow that part of the educational process. We want to leave that to the educators, of course. This is a tool for you to use. So we want you to determine what your educational objectives are, what your learning outcomes are from these units. We want you to spend time going through here. I know time is scarce now, but enjoy. This is enjoyable to go through here and decide, how can I plug this in? What can I do? And for you to make this your own experience. If you need ideas, then we're happy to share with you what other educators are doing, what other institutions are doing. And this is all about sharing. So if you do need ideas, suggestions, and guidance a little bit to help get things rolling, we're more than happy to do that. But essentially, you can determine what your learning outcomes are and objectives are with these resources that are provided to you. Okay. Okay, we've discussed that. Patty, I believe I answered your question earlier. Could you provide some examples of how instructors have practically incorporated? Right. So basically, like I mentioned earlier, resource library, copy and paste the links, plug it in, add your own quizzes customized in there, and make it your own experience, or just assign students to go through the entire unit or certain parts of it and incorporate assignments with that. Do you have a demo for the area of business? Yes. So Harry, I will share with you the topics that we'll be covering in the business unit. As I mentioned, we are starting with sciences and business on June 28th. Okay. So production will start then. We will have early releases coming out throughout the fall. So just stay patient with us. But we will have all of these areas of study 100% covered, and we're going to go way beyond, we're going to exceed your expectations. So I can share with you the topics that we're going to cover, the destinations that we're going to go to, but actual physical content will start production on June 28th. And we've been very limited due to the coronavirus. So many of the destinations that we've wanted to go to have been inaccessible. That's kind of why we have a late start on this. But it will be ready. Let me go on a little bit more. Do you have any demos for air business? Okay. Ahoy, dobrý den. Do you have any interactive models or plan to create any? When we're saying interactive models, I'm not sure, are we talking about student to student, faculty to faculty experiences? Yes, absolutely. Everything that's traditional virtual in terms of guest presentations with Q&A with the students and open discussion, we have those available. Those can start now. Those can start in the fall. For student-to-student experience, what many people call COIL, we call it live international virtual exchange. We can start that now. We can start that in the fall. So yes, those are available. Those are interactive, either student-student, faculty-faculty, or experts in the field coming directly into your classroom. All that's possible, and those would go into the customized options, and we can share a lot more about that with you, Molly. Domestic collaborations. Are there any international collaborations using your content along the lines of COIL or exchange type interactions? Great question. So we do have meetings with international universities to introduce this content. We're working on the language to make sure that it's either that they're happy using it in English language or if it's going to be in their native language. In terms of assisting you to make university-to-university partnerships, we can do that during our monthly networking event. Again, that's free of charge. It's part of your subscription. It's complimentary. It's all about connecting. So it's international education, speed dating essentially, to help you achieve those connections in an easy and efficient way. So yes, that will be there. I will send you, Martin, the business. We as soon as we continue to produce the content starting on June 28th, and as we go throughout the summer, we will have early releases to give you a taste of what it's like. Okay. Would the term of the contract be 1 year with the option to renew? Yes, absolutely. Our goal is to have you to continue each year because you see the value in it. You see the value of the investment for your students, but also for your faculty. So we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that the content's spectacular, that the user experience is exceptional, and that you will want to renew for year 2. And most importantly, we want to have you part of year 1, because year 1, all of our members are going to be our founding members. And, the founding members, essentially, we're going to listen to their request and their request for content creation first. They will come first, the founding members. Continuing on, what about a scavenger hunt? I love it. Yes, scavenger hunt activities using Google Earth or Google Maps, brilliant idea. You can do screenshots with it. You're thinking outside of the box. Michelle, I love it. Yes, this is, we're working on a customized project for Maricopa, the Maricopa system in Arizona. That is one aspect of their program. Yes, it's interactive, it's educational, it's also fun, it's engaging. So yes, the sky's the limit. So thank you for thinking out of the box, and we'd love to brainstorm with you on scavenger hunt activities focused on particular cities, regions, etc. Right? Can you tell us who some of your existing universities are that have already signed up? Yes, so University of South Florida, and we can focus on Florida right now. Valencia College is joining us. Polk State College is joining us. We have meetings with Florida A&M University, meetings with Oklahoma State University next week, meetings with Texas A&M, confirmed signed on in Wisconsin Tech Colleges. We have Chippewa Valley. We have Moraine Park. We have Waukesha. We have Tulsa Community College. We have Dallas County Community College. We have Maricopa, 200,000 students at Maricopa. We have Miami-Dade will be joining us. It's 34 institutions signed on right now as of today. And I hope after this session, we'll help fill that out. And, we can make this accessible to many more institutions, many more faculty, and most importantly, more students. And yes, on our website, we do have an in-depth list of everybody that we work with. You can go there and check that. Can we add hours besides 48? Yes, you can. Absolutely. We can add as much content as you want. So let us know. That would fall into the customized options. Essentially with customized options, anything is possible. So from virtual exchange, from experts from the field coming in, and delivering open discussion, seminar style in the classroom, to supplemental learning materials, everything's possible. So just let us know what you're envisioning, and we're happy to get to work for you in an efficient, quick, and make sure we achieve all your educational goals. Yes, any more questions, guys? And Diana, thank you for that question. I know we're reaching the, our customized option additional cost subscription model. Yes, Renee, customized options are an additional cost. However, if you have, we are happy to meet with your faculty in these 4 areas, and as long as their ideas fit within the scope of year 1's content and plan, we're happy to incorporate these ideas. Okay, so we can set up individual meetings with either your division chairs, your deans, your faculty, whoever the decision makers are, whoever the inspired people are at your institution. We're happy to set up meetings with them, listen to their input. It's going to help us make a richer product. If you want to incorporate a foreign country that's not on the list for the initial 12, then we would that would go under the lines of a customized product. Okay. And if I didn't mention the 12 earlier, I apologize. I'm going to send this PDF to all of you, but I'll mention them now. Okay, we'll start geographically, Western Hemisphere. So United States is featured. Okay, especially with current events. Belize, Costa Rica, Peru. Let's hop across the Atlantic. United Kingdom, France, as I mentioned, the French embassy is sponsoring 4 units. We have Greece. We have Italy. We have, did I mention United Kingdom already? I think I did. Morocco. We have, skipping over to Asia. Let's stop in India first. We have India. We have Thailand. These are the countries that we're starting with, and this is just the beginning. Again, guys, our goal here is to essentially become the Netflix of international education, and we want to provide you with an ample amount of virtually enhanced global content that you can use to help internationalize your curriculum in an efficient way, in a very user-friendly way, and use this as a great interactive resource for all of your students and your faculty, okay? We've reached the end of the hour. I'm gonna put my email address here in the chat. Again, I will share with you the recording. I will share with you the live demo. I will share with you the tutorial, and I'll share with you the PDF. And most importantly, be part of this mission with us. This is essential. We want to keep international education and study abroad alive. This is not a replacement for study abroad. This is an enhancement. We want you to be part of this year 1, and this is just going to take off. So you have my email. You have our website, studyabroadassociation.com. Join our team. Be part of this mission. Let's make this accessible to everyone. And thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And have a lovely day. You can't see my email? Okay. It's very simple. Christian, standard spelling, Christian, Christian, at studyabroadassociation.com. Christian at studyabroadassociation.com. And guys, thank you again. I'll be hanging out on here longer. So I know you guys have places to go, but if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'm happy to hang out for another 10, 15 minutes, no problem. So, but thank you guys. Thank you guys again.